All right, we got a lot of damage returning fire here. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. Moonveil Regent with 2 damage to the Inferno. They say nice. Honestly, brother, I'm just as surprised as you. Totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about Moonveil Regent secondary. That's amazing. What a great ability. Let's freaking go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, and thank you so much for clicking on today's video. Today we are talking about a very powerful list because the game plan was simple today. All I wanted to do was just win and win with ease. And so we played something extremely powerful today. We revisited an old friend of ours. We're talking about Dragon Tribal, but it's not the mono red. It's not the Boros list that you're used to seeing. We decided to play some RAKDOS Dragons because I really wanted to play my boy, the Predator. This card is sweet and it's so hard to get rid of. But before I dive into all of that and get into it, if you're new here and you find any value in today's content, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, it goes a very long way and I would really appreciate it. With that being said, let's talk about the list and then we'll get into some gameplay footage for you guys. So let's get through this quickly. So it's very simple. It's the very classic style of Dragons Tribal list you've been seeing going around because we have some really powerful new cards like the Fearsome Whelp, which is obviously going to be our main engine and ramp card for all of our dragons here today. But we've also got the Dragon Orb, which is also something that's not new. You've seen both of these. We don't need to talk about them too much. But Kalain, let's talk about Kalain for a second. Kalain is a Rakdos creature that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with. But why do I think Kalain is really good here is because I do think that when you're playing Dragons list, you do need a third engine to ramp into that turn 3 spell because you want to drop a 4 mana dragon on turn 3. There are so many good dragons for us to choose from at 4 mana, and Kalain helps us do that. And what Kalain also does is it's going to make our dragons even bigger. So imagine how bad getting a Town Raiser Tyrant played on you on turn 3 already is, but now that Town Raiser Tyrant is a 5/5 instead of a 4/4. Way different, way different, and it's a lot more damage to worry and consider, and it makes it a lot harder to remove with removal. So Kalain could be a very good, if not better, tool than these two cards here, depending on what you have in hand. If it's a singular dragon like a Town Raiser Tyrant, the Painter might just be a better play than the Whelp. So something to consider. Very cool. And also the Predator coming in with the bonus is also really nice. We've got some really good 4-drop dragons here. We've got the Predator. It's indestructible on instant speed. It also just needs, a little bit of creatures to sacrifice to it. So also the Kalain and the Whelp both make some great fodder to block, to protect the Predator with. If your opponent's running spot removal, burn, you want to give a Predator indestructibility at any time. You can do that at flash speed with the Whelp and the Painter. So very good combination there as well. And this also just scales and gets bigger over time. It's a cockroach, man. You can't get rid of this thing. It's a nightmare. And another card is the Regent. I actually haven't played the Regent at all in any of my Dragon decks before, and I've really undervalued this card a lot. The ability in the late game to draw cards is actually super good, especially if you're playing this in a 2-color deck like we are. So if we play like a Predator, that's the last card in our hand, we can draw 2 cards. It's actually really good, especially when you're talking about those 2-color decks like we are playing today in Rakdos. Very powerful, and like I said, just undervalued, and I honestly didn't see the benefits of this card. But if you really think about it, we are an aggro deck, so the idea to unload our hand as fast as possible is the game plan. So the Regent plays really well with this game plan. We've also got 2 Ebon Depths. These are going to be flashed in on your opponent's end step. They're not going to see this thing coming, and it could easily win you a game out of nowhere, and your opponent won't know what to do because, like I said, it comes down on their end step. They're not prepared for 5 damage over the top, and that is going to be the game. This thing's a lot better than it looks as well. And then we've also got the Goldspan Dragon and the Inferno, 2 cards you're very familiar with in Dragons lists. And our removal of choice is not Dragon's Fire. It's going to be Sap Vitality. We're going to lose a little bit there with the Dragon's Fire, obviously, because the Dragon's Fire can hit bigger targets when we show a dragon in hand. But Sap Vitality is still very good removal at 3. It takes care of a lot of what's going on in the meta, and it also gives your creature perpetually +3/+0. So if you play this on turn 2, and then turn 3, if you've, obviously you can't ramp if you played this on turn 2. So turn 4, these creatures are coming in now with 3 additional attack. This works super well with the Dragons list because your dragons are already almost impossible to block because they're going over the top of flying. So giving them that additional attack power it could game change everything. It is really, really powerful, and I think it works really well on this list. I think you're going to agree with me at the end of this video, but also the Den of the Bugbear is another way to go towards the end of the game. We've also got 2 Field of Ruins, but that is just for, you know, your own protection at the end. But that's it, guys. That's the deck in a nutshell. We're going to get into the gameplay footage now. You enjoy this, and we'll see you guys back here at the end for some final thoughts. Peace. All right, here we go, playing some RAKDOS Dragons today. I'm super stoked about this list. It is very, very powerful. I've already played a couple of games with it, and very happy with how it's performed so far. This hand, Dragon's Orb can go into the Innistrad, so I guess it is a ramp. Can also go into the Town Raiser. Sure, we can keep it. I don't like it, but we'll keep it. Yeah, so this list, man, has been absolutely bonkers for us lately. I know Dragons is nothing new, but hopefully with it being Rakdos and we're playing new cards like the Predator and Sap Vitality, we can bring some life back to the Dragons list today. This should be a lot of fun, a little more off meta, off beat. All right, just waiting on the opponent here. Sorry, I was just checking something over here on my right hand side. Ender, what's going on? Here we go. Okay, they're back. Let's go. Let's play some Magic. Enter tapped. Speaking of playing Magic, I played this weekend on a Saturday. Some of you guys popped by. I want to say thank you so much for the people who did, you know, stop by and say what's up in the stream this last Saturday. Thank you for your support. We played in the Degenerate Gaming Open, and we did okay. We actually went 2 and 3 to end it off before I dropped. But we had some pretty cool games. We ran our Jeskai control list, and we just weren't prepared enough for other control lists, and that's seemingly what we kind of ran into a bunch. All right, so our opponent's trying to gain life. Let's go ahead and take that idea that they have of gaining life and make it harder by them dealing 2 every turn. Also, Sap Vitality is looking pretty juicy, but I need to get 1 more black source here. Skycleave Apparition, that's tough. That's a great target, though, for the Vitality. There it is. Okay. Sap Vitality seems fun, right? But I think we go over the top and then Sap Vitality with the Goldspan Dragons 2 extra mana that it generates. Boom, boom, bam. And we'll probably give the Innistrad Predator the additional, because we got to worry about, you know, Doomscar and stuff like that. So Predator is the most likely thing to live. But at the same time, we're seeing exile effects already, like the Apparition, so expect to see more exile from our opponent here. That's an interesting take. All right, and we'll play the Moonveil Regent first, because if we could play the Moonveil Regent and then the Predator, we get to draw 2 cards. I am afraid of sweepers, but like I said, mono white sweepers consist almost solely of like Doomscar, and so we'll be totally fine. We get 2 extra cards here. Combos are popping off very, very consistently right now. We have way more than lethal here on the board. We got plenty of big bad creatures out here. These are some seriously big creatures, and we did this fairly quickly. Even without, we didn't even have our normal ramp like the Kalane and the Whelp, did we? 1 Dragon Orb is all it took. And we have another Sap Vitality. So even if they do play something, let's say a Brutal Cathar or, you know, an Apparition, we absolutely shut it down. So are we getting the rope treatment? I hope not. We might be. There may be an edit right here. And it looks like we are back. We are definitely getting roped here by our opponent, and they scoop. After 3 timeouts and making us wait, they scoop it up at the end anyways. Savage. All right, so that last game, I don't know what that was all about. Let me go ahead and mulligan this. I don't know what that last game was about, to be honest with you guys. It was kind of like a rope. Our opponent, you know, they were taking their sweet time just to eventually concede after 3 timeouts. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why people rope. It's not a good reason. It's kind of frustrating, to be honest, but it's funny. I just picture him being like,
how dare you? You think you can just come on the ladder and beat me like this? Psych. How about I walk away from my computer? Joke's on you.
Joke is on me. You got me, man. You got me. I'm triggered. People are just funny. People are funny. It be like that sometimes. All right, well, we're playing a mono red version of Dragons, which is the more, you know, the more meta dragon list, but we're gonna see how well RAKDOS fares against the mirror. As of right now, I like the Kalane into the Town Razor better than I like the Whelp into the Town Razor, but the Whelp does get longer lasting effects in their hand if they have multiple dragons, so that's cool. I was gonna say, I don't like that they're highlighting the Town Razor Tyrant, but there it is. It's a freaking Dragon's Fire, and now they've got their biggest baddie out there ready to go. Let's get the Predator in here. I guess I should have probably played last turn, it would have avoided that Dragon's Fire, but it's all good. It's all good. We're way ahead on damage thanks to our Town Razor. It did its job, you know? It did its purpose. That's gonna cost 2 less. It's 4 drops, so they still needed 1 more mana to play it. The mana form is still quite the creature to deal with. All right, we're definitely swinging in here because even if they think they're going to trade with the mana form, we're just going to go indestructible. And they don't want to make that trade. They see that, and they're not about it. All right, let's go with the Regent because we're almost out of cards in hand, and we're gonna need to draw some more with the Regent. We'll let the mana form swing in. It's not a big deal. We'll take the 4 damage. No need to sit here and have an ego about the block here. So they can play though the Inferno, which is gonna be a 6/6. Yikes. Very much yikes. Just waiting on our opponent here. What's going to be the play? I feel like this should be a pretty straightforward, easy play to get the Inferno down, but they are behind on the life total by quite a bit. That it's kind of a tough decision on how they want to spend this turn here, if they want to spend it defensively. 4 damage to target creature, Planeswalker. Okay. They get 2 more. Maybe I should have took that to the face. Well, I don't know. Maybe not. They might have top decked a really sweet dragon this turn, so maybe it was worth swinging or taking that to the Whelp. But more than likely, it's probably a better play to go face with that because they're at 8 life. Making them go down to 6 would force their hand on their land next turn to really consider sacking it. So I probably misplayed there. But that's what we do around here. We misplay. Somebody in the chat this last Saturday, I think it was Vanzen was the name. He came up with some pretty funny slogans, and one of my favorite ones was I learned how to play Magic from misplay. That was a good one. My teacher for Magic was misplay, something along those lines. I thought that was hilarious, and I was like, man, that is probably going to be our 3rd t-shirt idea. Such a funny line. Vanzen was on fire this weekend. I want to say it's Vanzen, and if I'm getting credit to the wrong person, I feel so bad, but I'm pretty sure it was Vanzen. But yeah, shout out to the stream this last weekend, man. You guys were awesome. I really appreciate everyone who was in my stream. It was a blast, man. All right, let's get this out of there. All right, so they're gonna have to blow up their land, and that means they can't play their Inferno anymore. They have to blow this up. Leaves them with 2 mana, but it does mean they can still play things like a Goldspan Dragon if it's been in their hand long enough, because that whelp was on the field, I think, for 3 turns. So, got him. Got him. That one came down to who was drawing more lands, and we ended up picking that one up. Let's go. GG. Very solid run so far, but I kind of expected that. Like I said, this deck is pretty savage, to be honest. Any dragon deck that has a whelp in it, it's pretty savage. That card is broken. The whelp is indeed broken, but I thought I'd showcase too the power of the whelp and the orb and Kalane. I actually think that this deck serves really well when it has 3 and not 2 but 3 different ways to ramp into your 4-drop. It's very, very helpful because there's so many, you know, there's such good 4-drops in this deck that, like, you know, being able to ramp into the Predator, you know, or even the Town Raiser, it's just so good, man. It's just disgusting. It's really hard to deal with the turn 3 Predator, turn 3, you know, Town Raiser, especially when the Predator is a indestructible because it's got the Painter to back it up. Up against green, and it's probably some sort of a control deck because they've got, you know, their Forsaken Crossroads, which is typically in control decks. But no, we see a Tenacious Pup, which doesn't scream control at all. It's quite the opposite, actually. Well, let's hope it's the nothing that's 3 power toughness. That's 3 toughness. Yikes. Okay, well, the Sap Vitality can't kill that now. That's actually pretty brutal. We're gonna have to outpace our opponent here. How are we gonna do that, though? That's pretty helpful, actually. That's pretty helpful, to be honest. End the turn. So now we got the Inferno, and the Inferno only needs 5 mana to play, which we have next turn, and it gets kicked with the Treasure, making it a 7/7. And maybe we can race them from there. We have the 2, you know, the Kalane and the Whelp for chump blockers, but things that have trample like this Stormseeker are going to be a bit of a problem. That particular Stormseeker we could take care of with the Sap Vitality. And in fact, I think that's what I'm going to do here. So I might just scratch the idea here of playing Inferno next turn. We might need to eat up this treasure up. Let's see where they put this haste, though, because they're definitely going to give it to the pup, potentially. No. Not too sure what I want to do here. I guess it didn't really matter pre or post combat when we use this, because they would have got an extra. They get an extra target because they have 2 reckless instead of 1. All right, so let's go with the Predator. Sorry, I'm just kind of talking to myself, and sometimes I know I'm rambling and it doesn't even make sense what I'm saying out loud. But it is what it is. I can only, my brain capacity is only so much, you know? All right, so let's go with the, I might have changed my mind here. Town Raiser Tyrant. I just hate leaving mana unspent for no reason, you know? Predator's a 6/3 though, and it has indestructibility. Yeah, let's go with the Predator. Predator getting that perpetual 3/0 from the Sap Vitality definitely helps change my mind on that. So we'll do that. That way, if they want to attack in with the Reckless Stormseeker, we block, we can make it indestructible with one of these. And they don't like that. They did not like seeing that because they know that their Blizzard Brawl is a little ineffective against Predator. So they got salty. GG. That Sap Vitality is a very underrated removal card, I feel like. It is pretty problematic, the fact that it can only deal 3 damage, but that Perpetual, man, it is no joke. That Perpetual 3 attack. You talk about throwing on that on an indestructible creature that, you know, flies. Like, come on. And that creature scales. That's... I mean, what do you do against that? Not a whole lot, I'll tell you. Great starting hand, by the way. We got the Kalane into the Goldspan Dragon, potentially. This is going to be nice. This is going to be nice. And any dragons that we find off the top, we can, you know, pump with the sap vitality too. So great starting hand. Our opponent took a mulligan, I believe. Yeah, they did. Has anyone been trying out the new Yu-Gi-Oh game? I'm interested to know everyone's thoughts on that game. I personally have never really played Yu-Gi-Oh, not since I was really young when it first came out. I watched, you know, the Yu-Gi-Oh series, and then haven't really thought too much about it since. But now that they've got a new game online, I may actually consider checking it out and playing it a little bit, especially because it's free. But thought it'd be interesting maybe to get your guys' perspective on that. Maybe, you know, play some games on that here and there. Not here on this channel, but I do always plan on, like, in the future, if this ever becomes a full-time situation for me, I do plan on eventually making a second channel. And when I make that second channel, I'm not too sure what it is I'd like to stream or make videos on, but you know, maybe, never know, it might be Yu-Gi-Oh. I feel like that translates pretty well, but I don't know. I don't know enough about Yu-Gi-Oh that I'm definitely not confident enough to just open up a channel and start telling people how to play the game. That's for darn sure. Maybe down the road, but all right. So we got the Goldspan Dragon coming in for 7 here. Should have been an 8/5, but they used the Cathar to steal my Kalane. Takes away a bit of my playability here. Dragon Orb coming in hot. Yeah, I was just curious how many people are actually a fan of that game. It actually looks like it's got a lot of interest, man. A lot. But it could be early game hype though. I'm not sure. Not too sure how big Yu-Gi-Oh is. I know when we go into the shop with my friends and stuff, there was always people playing Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, so. All right, let's go here. Let's grab another dragon. Gold spans are always the way to go, man. Gold spans are always the way to go. And then now we can flash in our Ebon Death. This is going to be such a good turn. This is so good because even, let's just say, worst case scenario, they sweep the board. Or even this. Let's say they get some blockers, which they're not going to, but if they do find like a Valkyrie or something, we can Ebon Death and we'd still have lethal. So there's no hope for our opponent here. No hope. Interesting. Lifelink is good, but not if you can't get in the air to block. Might as well attack, right? They scoop it up. No, I wanted to play the Ebon Death, man. No fun zone. No fun zone. GG. Man, the ending of that game would have been really fun if I could have got that Ebon Death down on the end step there. That'd been pretty cool. We would have had a gold span following it up too on the follow-up turn. It would have been nasty. All right, so the orb is cool. Sap vitality is cool. Ebon Death also cool with the sap vitality because Ebon Death can keep coming back. I guess we can try it out. It's not very aggressive, that's for sure. Fellow dragon player possibly, we'll see. No, it's a Luminancer, which is a really good target for, let's say, a sap vitality. The sooner we can kill these types of things, the better, because they're just going to get bigger and nastier every time. Another Luminancer. Yikes. Okay. Fair enough, though. Can't be too upset about that. So we've got an 8/2 flyer, though. That's pretty gnarly, especially when it can keep coming back to life. All right, so this is a Bant list. I've actually made my own version of a Bant Magecraft deck before, and it was actually really good. So I'm actually kind of scared here. I can't lie. It's gonna get gnarly quick. Yeah, this is gonna get busted really fast. Okay. Goldspan Dragon is now live. I really wanted to play Ebon Death, but I don't think I have the luxury to do that. I think I need to focus on getting the mana down with the treasures so we can get these infernos in as well and just kind of kill them before they can kill us. It's gonna be if they can scale higher than we can, or if we can just run them over before they have a chance to scale up. This is gonna be a big turn for them though, man. They're probably gonna get close to lethal, I can't lie. Having that 1-drop mana spell there, it's tough. Another 1-drop spell. 8, 9, 10. Yep, that's it. GG's. Wow, man. Look at that. That's all on turn 4. Sheesh. We got cooked. We got absolutely cooked up there. Well played, though. I like that deck a lot. If you don't have the Luminancers, though, or the Leonhards, you're toast. But they had all 3, so good on them. Well, nothing we could do about that last game, man. That was brutal. That was a beatdown. Absolute beatdown. Oh, man. That was not it, Chief, but we'll come back from that. That was fine. I'll take those kind of losses all day, honestly. There's really nothing you can do. Like, your opponent had the nuts, and what they were trying to do was busted. It's hard to accomplish because you kind of have to have a perfect hand, but if you pull it off, it's pretty unstoppable, and we just ran into it, unfortunately. This is a decent hand. We have a Regent on turn 3, which is not the most ideal turn 3, but it does draw us cards later, so I don't know if we're gonna get to that late of game with the Regent on turn 3 though, to start really seeing the benefits of that. We're also playing another Dragons list, okay, and they chose us to be white and red. Okay, white, red. We have the advantage of them not knowing we are dragons, right? So that's kind of cool. So if we played Orb of the Dragonkind, then we might be able to get the Inferno out next turn, right? So is my math lined up there? So 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we can get the dragon, the Inferno out next turn, and it'll be even bigger than a 6/6, which is phenomenal. And they'll still be on turn 3, which could mean Town Raiser Tyrant, but it is what it is. We'll take 2 from the land, and we'll worry about that later. Because once we get the 7/7 out, it's gonna be hard to beat us, to be honest. Not impossible, but hard. They have the Whelp, which could be, it could be anywhere from, you know, getting them a little value or a lot of value. We'll see. We shall see. They take time, though. They take time to set up here even further than... So I'm kind of glad that's the case, though. Town Raiser Tyrant would have been annoying. We get 1 free shot here with the Inferno to their face. It's a lot of damage. That is a lot of damage. And we have a backup Inferno, which it's fine. I mean, it's not like I think we're gonna need it, because even if they have an Inferno, let's just say they have an Inferno, right? We're not worried about Dragon's Fire because their Inferno is only gonna be a 6/6, and our Kalane made ours a 7/7. So a lot of benefits being seen here from the Kalane. Kalane is the silent MVP assassin, baby. Let's go. Let's freaking go. I really underestimated how good the Regent is as well. I didn't like that card. Still don't really like the card very much, but I have to say it's not nearly as bad as I thought. It actually helped a lot in the late game of drawing cards. I just didn't foresee it being that good. But when we're talking about 2-color decks like ours, it's also even better because we get to draw multiple cards with, you know, 2-color spells. So another Goldspan Dragon. All right, here's where we start to see the Whelp really pull through for our opponent. I'm gonna go here, and I am gonna draw another card. Let's see how they want to block, if they want to block here. Block with the Whelp. Okay, so they've already got all the value they wanted out of the Whelp, so that's fair. Nice. It is something to find a dragon, so I'm not too upset about it. And it triggers the Regent again. This is where we start to see how good the Regent actually can be. Okay, that's tough. That's tough. They attack all, huh? You attack me with everything. Interesting. If they don't have a creature, I'm curious as to why they would do that. They have a lot of mana though. 4 mana. They could have another creature to play here. It is a flyer. Okay. Top deck a Sap Vitality, please. Oh no! Come on. Let's go get another dragon. 4 mana, huh? Let's get the indestructible predator here. Let's get the old indestructible predator here. Let's take action. We need 2 new cards. Let's get, honestly, a land wouldn't hurt. Okay, Sap Vitality is pretty sick. It does take care of one of those proctors. I am just passing a turn here, being at 7 life totals versus their 11. They can't really swing in with their Inferno unless they want to trade, which I'm honestly okay with trading. But I might not even do that. I might just use the Predator here to block the Inferno, and with the Predator go indestructible by sacrificing the Kalane. That could be pretty sweet. Town Razor Tyrant. It's not good. Do they have a land though? Do they have a land? They do. Okay. Town Razor Tyrant coming in hot. Well, it's enter the battlefield trigger doesn't actually go off, right? They have to pay 2. So that's a bummer. It was at that moment they knew they effed up. All right. Oh, now they got the mana to pay for it. All right, let's do... Here, here, and here. I do hate that I have to give up the Regent here in this position because it's a very good, you know, engine for us. But we're gonna have to do it this way. Gonna have to do it like this. I don't even have to sacrifice the painter though. I can well, yeah, I do, because I want to trade with the Goldspan. I don't want to just stop the damage from getting through. I want to actually trade here. All right, let's eat their whelp. All right, we got a lot of damage returning fire here. Oh, let's go, baby. Let's go. Moonveil Regent with 2 damage to the Inferno. They say nice. Honestly, brother, I'm just as surprised as you. Totally forgot about that. I totally forgot about Moonveil Regent secondary. That's amazing. What a great ability. Let's freaking go. You gotta pay 2 here. You gotta eat your treasures. Nope. Oh, they had to do it twice. Yeah, that would have been bad. If they would have ate the treasure, then they would have had to do it again. All right, so no effects from the Town Razor. Feels bad, man. Let's go here first. Let's see what dragon we actually pull off here. Town Razor's not bad. Let's go ahead and kill you. 8, 9, 10, 11. They're gonna have to block here. Is it smart to swing in with both? Because they could block the Inferno and then let the Predator go through. They can return fire for 4, potentially 4 more with a Goldspan off the top of their deck. I have to play with the thought of the Goldspan potentially coming into play here, so gonna have to do it like this. Also, the Inferno coming down would be pretty brutal too. We need to keep the Inferno back as a blocker. This was a very patient decision I'm making here, and I'm actually proud of myself for catching that, because I normally would have just swung in there and forced them to make the block. But we've been unlucky before. We've been very unlucky before, and opponents top decking a hasty flyer is not out of the realm of possibility. So if they blocked the Inferno with the 1/3 and let the Predator through, they had a really good shot of winning this game. They let it go through. Okay. They're searching for that top deck victory here, and I don't blame them. They could also sacrifice their orb. Yep, they can go get a 4/4 flyer, or a 4-drop flyer. If this is a land in their hand, they can get a Goldspan Dragon. Okay. They missed their Goldspan Dragon. They hit their land though. Pretty close. That very easily could have gone bad if I didn't lead the Town Razorback. So they want me to block this so that they can play this and make me take the 2. But that's not going to happen. You know what? Maybe it will happen because we will force them to take the 2 from our Town Razor too. We don't need to land. I don't know. Well, the land could come down as a Den of the Bugbear and attack with me next turn. No blocks. No blocks. All right, so we have 2 dragons that are in my face. They can't pay the 2. Now we have options. Options. So we swing in with both of these. Both of them present lethal. Plus Den of the Bugbear gets through. No, I don't think Den of the Bugbear is the play here. Let's just swing in both of these. Because we need to make sure we have a blocker in case they top deck the Goldspan still. Yeah, we had to keep playing that safe. Keep playing that safe, playing it smart, and we get rewarded, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Now that was a headbanger, baby. That was a good game. Long game, but good game. All right, so... Whoa, this is not a hand here. Would have been a really sweet hand, but... That's not it, Chief. Okay, this is better. Yeah, I think the land has got to go. Land has got to go. So, just today, this all came in the mail. I'm actually really excited to show you guys. The ones who made it this far in the video. Shout out to you guys, because you guys are the real ones. We got some stuff in the mail today that I want to show you. Trying to decide here what I want to do. Painter or Whelp? Let's go with the Whelp. Don't know if that's the right idea because of the gas on second thought, but anyways, I'm sure a lot of you guys from the last video saw my new Marty Mob shirt. That was kind of a prototype of what's to come. We're gonna be making some really cool merch ideas and designs, which I'm really excited about, and the Marty Mob shirt was the first of that. And we're using these like heat press transfers to do it. Hold on, I think I'm gonna play the Ebb and Death here. We're using these heat press transfers to do it. Make sure there's no personal information on here. Hold on. All right, there's not. All right. Yeah, so we're using these heat press transfers to do it, and these are the ones that came in that you saw on the shirt. But they actually got the colors on these wrong, and I let them know that the circles around the, you know, the plains and the swamp needed to be their colors of them instead of the red circles around them. So they unfortunately got those incorrect, but they just mailed in the follow-up, the corrections, and I'm super excited about it, to be honest. And I will show you in just a moment. So the new ones are in. The new ones are in, and that's how they should look, with the gray and the yellow. And those being put on the shirt are gonna look even cleaner than the last ones, which is hard to believe because the last ones look still pretty darn fire. And we also got another thing in today. My second design. I can't wait to show you guys this one. This one's pretty sweet. So this one is not Marty Mob, it's Swayze merch. It's gonna be the new Swayze kind of, it's not the Swayze logo, but we made a logo and it's pretty lit. It's pretty lit. So these are gonna go on t-shirts like this, right? And we've got the maroon, which is sick, but we've also got the baby blues. The baby blues. So those are gonna be really sweet. I'm really, really excited. If you can't tell, I'm really excited. And yeah, I can't wait to get those going, man. Get some new shirts put together. I've got a big shipment of shirts coming soon. Got to order them. I think actually finalizing them tonight. And start putting some of this stuff together. And then just gotta, you know, get that third design going. And then after the third design's done, I'll probably just start off small. We'll do something like we'll probably do something small, like very limited release. Just because it costs obviously a lot of money to get all this stuff going. And so because I don't have a ton of money, we're gonna do a small release first. If it goes really well, we'll order more and stock up on more things. We'll see what's popular, what's not, and then we'll order more. But that's the idea, and I'm really stoked about it. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. So much fun. This has just been so much fun designing things like this, and you know, it's just been a really good time. Hold on. This is bait, right? Another meat hook massacre potentially. I feel like this is meat hook massacre. Yeah, just gonna take it. I think we're gonna ultimately lose this game, if I'm being honest, but it is what it is. I'm just super excited and happy about these designs coming in, man, and actually seeing them and putting them in hand, because I know the last ones I came in and we put on that shirt, I was just super stoked about it. They just look so good. And then I was also thinking about this one and making it into like an obviously we'll make it smaller, but make it into a patch for hats, and I think that'd look really cool. Imagine this hat, right? Let's imagine this hat. It's the same color gray and the bill being maroon, and then that maroon logo right there. That would look pretty sweet.
Do what I demand.
But yeah, that's just me being excited. I've always been really interested in graphic design. It's been one of my favorite subjects since I was a kid in school, and just I really enjoy that kind of stuff. So kind of like a kid in a candy shop right now when it comes to this stuff. I really enjoy it. I was telling my wife I might just make another separate, like, just actual like business with t-shirts and clothing, because I've been really having a lot of fun with this stuff. If there's one thing I can say to everyone out there, chase your dreams, man. Chase your dreams. Work hard, do what you gotta do to, you know, do what you gotta do in your lives to make money and do what you gotta do, but chase your dreams, man. On the side, it's worth it. It's worth it. This game though is over. This game is over. We lost. And I can't block any of these spiders. They've all got menace. GG's, my friend. Ooh, blood on the snow. You could have just swung in and killed me, but I guess you can do blood on the snow too, because the blood artist is out there. GG's. All right, let's finish this up with some final thoughts. That's gonna do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We've got a few more minutes here that we're gonna talk about the list a little bit, break it down a bit. But before I do that, just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's still here in the video. It means a lot to me. It really helps the YouTube algorithm when you stay this long in these videos, and it pushes our videos out to more people. So thank you so much for that support. It really means a lot. With that being said, let's talk about the list, man. So I really enjoyed it. I think it's very powerful. I can't say it enough how powerful I think this list is. It works very smoothly. You know, the painter I think is the MVP of the deck here. And when I say MVP, obviously the whelp is better than the Kalane, right, overall. But I'm saying MVP as in, if you're running it in Rakdos and you need that third little extra juice on the mana, Kalane is a great way to do it. Because I know a lot of people, let me see here, I'm not sure what the card is called. It's the 2-drop dwarf, and it generates a treasure. A lot of people run that card in this deck right here, the Magda, right? A lot of people run Magda in the mono red version of this list because they want that third mana bump on turn 2. They want to make sure this deck really only works if you have something to ramp into turn 3, because we're trying to be aggressive. We're trying to kill our opponents before they can start building up whatever they want to do. So having that third boost in mana is going to be so important, because I can't tell you how many times I've ran just the whelp and the dragon orb and missed those on the opening hand, and then you're screwed. So Kalane came in clutch as MVP. I think it's a much better choice than Magda, because you don't have to swing in and attack with it for you to get that value. Plus you get the +1/1. So Kalane MVP, very, very good choice in here. I think the only two cards I would consider changing out of this deck would be Vitality and Ebb and Death. Ebb and Death, not so much, just because it, like I said, it is a over-the-top game-ending card your opponents just don't expect. And I really think it has a place here, and also it can come back after it's been dead, which is also super helpful in the late game. But I can see an argument for it not being in the deck because you are an aggro deck, so you don't want your things to come in tapped. I know playing it on your opponent's end step and it gets to attack that follow-up turn is pretty much like haste, but it's actually, you still got to take the turn off, let your opponent go, and then play it. So you're still losing a little bit there by having it coming in tapped. But yeah, it's kind of preference. I like it. I think it's got a really good spot here. I think a 2 of doesn't hurt it too bad. I think Moonveil Regent was fantastic. I think I need to play this card a little bit more. I do need to be cognizant too about the fact that when it dies, it deals that damage. That was pretty brutal, and it actually won us that game. The Vitality though, this card, it definitely can get changed out with Dragon's Fire, right? Because Dragon's Fire, like I said, 2 mana spell, kills almost anything, especially if you have a big dragon in your hand. Or a big dragon on the field, which Predator can get pretty big pretty quick. And you know, Dragon's Fire just has more targets, and we did see that come in a little bit. You know, it was a little more problematic in some spots, only being able to deal 3 damage. So there is something to be said about that. But the Perpetual 3/0 is also so good that I enjoy playing this in this deck, and I think I would rather keep this in the deck. I do think Dragon's Fire will win you more games, and it'll also help you smooth out your mana a little bit better because you don't want to have all this double devotion to black, double devotion to red. It just smooths it out a little bit if you play, you know, Dragon's Fire. But if you want to have fun, play Sap Vitality. That's the way I look at it. And I think in this particular deck, giving the 3/0 to a flyer with haste, that's also something you can't put a price on. It's very, very valuable. So that's something to just consider. But other than that, I don't want to mess with the deck. I think it's great. I had a lot of fun with it, and I think it's in a very good spot. And I think you can have some fun with this one, go on the ladder, and obviously win a bunch of games with it. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you enjoyed the list. And I just want to say thank you again to every single one of you guys out there who support this channel, man. Just huge shout out to every single person who's here every week watching these videos. It means the world to me, and it gives me fuel, man. It does. It gives me fuel to keep going, because sometimes, I will be honest with you, a little bit of inside Swayze's head right now, a little bit of a deep cut, but yeah, man, it gets hard sometimes. It gets hard sometimes to grind these videos out for you guys daily, or not daily, but 3 times a week with my other job. And some days I just don't want to get up and do it, and I try to hide that, and I try to give you guys the best attitude Swayze as possible, and the highest energy. And I just keep remembering that there's so many of you out there who watch these videos and support me, and just, man, it gives me fuel and to just keep going and never stop. So thank you so much. You guys mean the world to me. And lastly, just a special personal shout out to the Marty Mob, man. Thank you guys so much for everything you guys do. You guys already know, man. You guys already know how special you guys are to me, man. We've got our own Marty Mob t-shirts coming. That's the shirt I'm most excited about, dude. The Marty Mob is, they're like here, man. They're special place in the heart. Seriously, thank you guys so much for everything you do. Love you guys. That's the end of today's video. We're gonna be back here on Wednesday. I'm going to try to give you guys a Jund control deck. I really want to play some Tibalt, like the good Tibalts, and I'm really excited about it. So I'm gonna try to put that together right now. But yeah, we'll see you guys on Wednesday, and then live stream later that night. Until next time, guys. Peace.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man, man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks, this is the meta. This ain't cheap.